How many blog posts should you write in a week? I think this is the question I get asked the most in my emails that I get from some of you guys, from some of my students. So today I'm going to answer this question, and I'm also going to cover exactly how much money you can expect to make depending on how many blog posts per week you write. So I think this is going to be a good one, and I think it's going to be really helpful. So let's get started. If you're new around here, I'm Madeline. I'm a full-time blogger behind the blog cappuccinoandfashion.com, and I help, content creators, YouTubers, bloggers. I help them start a profitable online business, and I'm going to help you do the same. The very first thing that you're going to want to figure out is how many blog posts per week are actually sustainable for you. Because I could tell you write 7 blog posts a week, one every single day, but if that's not going to be sustainable for you, obviously it's going to be pointless. You're just not going to do it. You're going to burn out, and it's counterproductive. So it truly needs to be sustainable for you, for your lifestyle. And I think it's also important for you to realize how many blog posts you can expect to, need to write in order to reach your income goals. Like, obviously, I think it's so obvious that the more you write, the more content you create, the better, the faster you will grow, but it needs to be a sustainable process because you don't have unlimited time, do you, to create content. And speaking of time, if you feel like you're struggling to find the time to start and grow this online business, if maybe you have a full-time job, a 9 to 5, maybe you're a busy mom, then I actually have a separate video I just did on this, so I will link it down below as well. But let's see how you can actually figure out what's sustainable for you. So in that video I mentioned, I actually talk about time pockets and how you can, sit down and find out how much time you actually have in a week to dedicate to growing this online business. So the way that you do this, which I mentioned in that video, is to do this exercise of maybe sitting down for a full week or even just for a day. Sit down and try to write in hourly increments what you actually do every single hour. Try to figure out if you could maybe wake up 1 hour earlier, stay up 1 hour later and work at, in the evenings, maybe work 4 hours in a weekend, maybe use that 1 hour of scrolling on social media, use that for your business. So just kind of finding those pockets of time and trying to figure out how much time you actually have in a week to dedicate to this online business. That's your first step, is to find out that total time that you have in a week. So let's say you find 5 hours in a week to work on your blog, even if it's just 30 minutes a day, or even if it's just an hour for a few days, like here and there, that's fine. So let's say you found 5 hours to work on your blog. The next step is to figure out how much time it takes you to write a blog post. And just keep in mind that in time, you will get faster at this, you will get more efficient, and it will take you less time to write a blog post. But in the beginning, if it takes you that full 5 hours to write a blog post or even longer, that's fine, just do that. I actually have a video on how to write a blog post faster. I have found this method that actually really helps me speed up the process, especially of kind of writing it down. So I share my method in this video on how to write 3,000 words in an hour or even 2,000 words in an hour, and I will link that down below. But that can really help you speed up the process. But now that you have how many hours you have in a week to dedicate to your blog, and you have how many hours it takes you to write a blog post, now you can do the math and figure out how many blog posts per week are actually sustainable for you, how many you can actually write in a week. Also keep in mind that those blog posts that you do write need to be good quality. Don't waste your time putting really short, uninformative blog posts out there, because it will just do you no favor. Like it will be just a waste of your time. They do need to be searchable topics. They need to be helping a person with something, with an issue, with a struggle, with something they need help with. That's a good quality post. They need to be long form. These days, if you want to rank in Google and Pinterest to get viewers on your blog, you need to write long form content, and that means at least 1,000 words or more, even 2,000 words. Most of my blog posts right now are 2,000 words plus. And I know it can seem intimidating, but I would rather have you focus on one good blog post a week that's 2,000 words, rather than writing 4 blog posts that are each 500, if you know what I mean. It's just a much better use of your time. You will get more blog posts to rank. It's just going to be more productive, and it will help you grow faster. Even though I know it might seem like it's the other way, but it's not. Long form quality posts are super important, and they need to be searchable, they need to be competitive, they need to have a chance to rank for certain keywords. And when it comes to keyword research, we actually dive a lot into this in Blogging Secrets. It's my course for bloggers, and a lot of people really love the golden nugget method that I share in there. It's so simple, it honestly doesn't have to be complicated, but just kind of knowing how to find those keywords that you actually have a chance to rank for is really, really helpful in this process. Let's say you can write that quality blog post in 5 hours, and you also have those 5 hours to write in a week, that those 5 hours to dedicate to your blog in a week. Well, then that obviously means you can write 1 blog post per week without burning out. And that's fine. If you want to start with that, that's perfectly fine. So many people kind of put this pressure on themselves to write quickly, write a lot, and have a lot of content out there. But it does need to be sustainable for you, because otherwise you're just not going to enjoy it. You're going to burn out and you're just going to give up. And that's not what we want, is it? And I'll be honest, for me, it kind of depends on the season of life of business that I'm in. If I'm sometimes maybe launching a course, I will be, you know, posting a bit less on my blog because I have less time to dedicate to it. But if I do have kind of a lot of my time, I will probably write 2-3 blog posts per week. It really depends. It's not like a magical number. Obviously, the more you write, the better. And that's what I try to do. But just to give you an idea of how much money you can actually expect to make from how many blog posts you write per week. So if you write 1 blog post per week, in a year, you will have 52 blog posts, right? If you write 2 per week, then in a year, you will have 104 blog posts written. If you write 3 blog posts per week, you will have 156 blog posts per year. So that's just kind of to give you an idea of how many you will write in a year, because this does matter into how many page views you'll get and how much money you'll be able to make from that. So how many blog posts do you need to have in order to make money? I actually found this case study made by Income School. I will link their video down below, but it's such a helpful video, and I really like how they kind of illustrate this. And they did this research, kind of a case study on people's blogs, how many blog posts they have written on them, how many page views they get in a month, and how much money they make in a month from that. And so I'm gonna give you the averages that they share in the video, but you can, you know, go to the video and see more details on this. But if you have a blog post that has 10 posts published, you can expect to get 300 page views per month. That's kind of an average, and you can expect to make $0 per month, because honestly, at those, you know, low levels of page views, you're not going to get any traction yet, and that's fine. That's where everybody starts. Then if you have 100 blog posts published, you can expect to start to make 50,000 page views per month. Now, this obviously kind of fluctuates. It's not going to be a perfect number, but this is just kind of an average that people notice. And again, these posts need to be quality, searchable, long form, everything like that. It's not just going to be 100 random blog posts. But for 100 blog posts, 50,000 page views, you can expect to make anything between 1,000 and 5,000 per month. And this is just from your blog, obviously. And I think I had around, I can't remember exactly, but I think I had around 150 blog posts published. But bearing in mind, my first ones were not that great, obviously. And that's kind of the point where I started to actually make a serious income and start to make this, you know, to turn this into my full-time thing. And then they say for 500 posts published, you can expect to make 250,000 page views in a month and make anywhere between 5,000 and 13,000 per month. So this is just an average, but I do think it's very accurate, and it was very accurate for me as well. That's kind of where I fell also in those kind of stats. So I think that's really interesting to see, because how many blog posts you have published on your blog will influence how many page views you get and how much money you make. And a lot of people don't realize this, but blog posts that you wrote a year or 2 ago will still get you views and will still get you that traffic and money even years down the line. So it's kind of like making an investment in your blog, having that portfolio of blog posts. So I'm really curious, let me know in the comments below, how many blog posts do you currently have published on your blog, like total blog posts? I think for me at the moment it's over 200, like 200 and something, and I'm trying, you know, I'm trying to ramp it up. I'm trying to create more so that I can get to that 500 posts published, so that I can grow, you know, my traffic and my income. It's always about scaling this business, but it truly is that simple. If you want to make money from your blog, it is all about creating that content and learning how to write searchable and competitive blog posts, and, you know, building that portfolio of blog posts. So getting back to our question, how often should you blog in order to start making money? So let's say you are able to write 2 blog posts per week. That means you're going to write 104 blog posts per year. And again, for 100 posts published, you can expect to make between $1,000 and $5,000 per month. It really depends on a lot of things, depends on how you monetize, but that's a very average number. For me, that point where I started to make some serious money, I think I was at around 100 150 blog posts published. And I think this is just such an important reminder that this blogging thing, it's not a race, it's a marathon. It's all about creating that sustainable, you know, workflow for yourself of creating that content consistently every week. And if you keep up that pace and learn about this blogging world as much as you can, you don't give up and you keep going, then in a year or two you'll look back and see this, you know, amount of blog posts that you have written and be grateful that you did that, because then you'll be able to make all of this money and have more freedom in your life and your business. And it's just pretty amazing to me that we can do this with a blog, to be honest. So I do hope this was helpful. I hope it kind of gave you an idea of how many blog posts per week for one would be sustainable for you, and also how many you would need to write in order to make that kind of money that you want to make in this online business. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, but I do hope you're having a lovely day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!